Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Otto and Sherrick public farms match for you, seeing an overview of that map right now. But before we get into that, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So, server pop right now is about 2:10 right now. It is November 24th, a Sunday at about 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm kind of getting later into the day right now. Balance is 6 towards the CSA side right now. Artillery-wise, Union has 7. Confederates have 5, which means the overall imbalance is 6, but that will probably solidify itself potentially as the round progresses. But your officers for today on the CSA side, you got Carey, Carey, Teabag, Captain Guinness, and then for the artillery, you got Wenghis Khan. And then on the Union side, you have Drifting, Rally Trooper, Libego 411, Mr. Ferbson, and then for the artillery, you got Cornelius. So, Otto and Sherrick is a fun little match here. As the years have gone on, the meta on this map has probably been the most changed, at least it's the most changed in my opinion, as time has gone on. And, oh my goodness, what an artillery shot to start us off. So, Union strat on this map, as I mentioned, it's been chaotic, but it's kind of turned into one of two things. You either group up on the right, charge the CSA on this right side, and hit them here, which you can see the CSA is holding here, or group up on this left side here, kind of have a shootout with CSA, and then charge them through this area here. There's a little cover that you can use as you charge, but that's generally the two strategies you'll see from Union these days. Going down the left side is a much more effective route as of late. It's just when you get to these higher pop servers, and even if it's not higher pop, like 200 guys, 210 guys in a server, and it'll keep growing as the match progresses, can be a lot. So trying to charge across a wide open field like this is always going to be difficult. But we'll see what Union does. For now, they're having a shootout with the defenders. I personally do not like a shootout for the beginning of the match. I don't know why that flag is down for so long. They do it at the 28th Mass, which they got this beautiful flag here. But they're taking hits out. I'm really surprised they're holding in the open when they could be using that stone wall behind them as cover. CSA is using the shade very well. We can go back to the Union side in a second, but if you look from the CSA view, even through the smoke, you can kind of see those guys silhouetted. Looks like they're retreating back to that stone wall, which they can use nicely as cover. I mean, you can barely see the CSA from over here, and I mean, I'm zooming in. When you're zoomed out, you can't see anything. You just see the shade, and that's why shade is really overpowered in this game, especially in this fall atmosphere, which there's still green leaves here. A little confusing, but I guess this is an orchard and not your normal tree. So I don't like shootouts to kind of start rounds, because shooting at long distances, especially in pubs, results in not a lot of kills. What that means is that nobody's losing tickets, which means that you have a limited time and you're not dealing a lot of damage to the other team, meaning you're killing that black timer, and you eventually get to a point where
10 seconds, boys. Be ready for up and over.
You will not have a lot of time on that timer, and then you're forced to desperate charge, and then just chaos and distress can happen. I know that was a really long, repeated words, drawn-out explanation, but you just you put a lot of pressure on yourself because there's not a lot of time left on that clock. And so I think you got to charge first, because the charges decide the game about 90% of the time. So it looks like we've got Rally Trooper, Mr. Ferbson charging, Drifting, and Libego. They are charging. And at least they're doing it all together. They're very spread out in the process. And you got to organize the guys well. It looks like they're going to push up to this little defilade here. They can sit in these bushes and use it as cover, but it looks like they're going to be holding in the little defilade here, using it as a good chunk of cover. They're spreading themselves out pretty nice. You'll like to see them clumped up. CSA Artie can have a nice angle on this spot, but it does look like Union has some skirmishers up there right now. CSA, it looks like they've got 2 guns. Almost looked like there was a gun there, but that was a dead guy. That gun is shooting towards the skirmishers, but you got Union operating their guns over there as well. Kind of nice to point that out. But tickets to start off are going, what did that Artie shot? It bounced like a basketball. That was weird. I don't think I've seen an Artie shot ricochet like that before. So, Union's holding strong there for now. It's really inconsistent. Sometimes you'll see Union get completely shredded up here. But CSA is not on the right side, which is starting to shift too. Carrie's guys are going there right now. And tickets overall are kind of close. There's a drummer boy up front. What is he doing? I mean, you can kind of see from CSA vantage point, Union's in that defilade. It's harder to see. So.
Oh my God! What
Ready! Ready!
Who's dragging their nails in a chalkboard? Wait, Dana, we're not ready yet, man. Hang on now, bud. Hang on now. Fucking hell, bud. You're not giving us time to reload, man.
So. Union keeping up that independent fire for now. I mean, they're holding their strong. Those skirmishers, while I normally don't like that, they are really keeping artillery off of their team, which can be severely devastating from the spot. And we'll see if Union eventually wants to charge. But at the pace they're going right now, they don't necessarily need to charge. They can sit back and slowly have this shootout, because it's a little surprising the pace that both sides are going down tickets. It's a little fast. We'll really see at the 30-minute mark. I mean, generally, by the 30-35 minute mark, you want to hit the defenders down to engage, which now that I think about it, it's almost been 10 minutes of the round, so I guess that pace is not that slow. So, Union's trying to spread out a little more. When groups clump up, it's very easy for that group to die quickly. Obviously, when you're all clumped up, everyone's going to be shooting at the clump. And if you miss the first guy, you're probably going to hit the second or third guy in the clump. And so that's why you see Union trying to spread that out. They're still a little clumped up, but a lot of them are getting hit because CSA has kind of repositioned themselves. They've shifted further left to get a little better angle on them.
Still there, boys. Shoot their flag.
And you might consider, well, why isn't Union trying to get inside this house? Well, the reason is that flags cannot respawn guys within a house. And can we also realize, why is there a patio here? Or a deck? That's a deck, yeah. When that's a window. What? Anyways. It's just the random weird things that you see. You're like, what the heck? Anyways, Union is starting to lose the ticket fight here, and you can see they're starting to retreat because of that.
No, do not fall back. Lineman, you hold your ground.
Infantryman, you hold your fucking ground.
Anybody saying
Fall back will be shot for treason!
Looks like there's a little confusion on the ground. I mean, you have some of the guys starting to pull back. There's no flags up front. They have maybe one in here. A little hard to tell. But they've got 3 of the flags. Their mission... Where's the Irish? Okay, so all 4 flags are back here at the stone wall. Union's got to think of something else to do here.
Everybody shift right. Everybody shift right. We're going to start putting fire for our friendlies. We're going to start supporting our friendlies with supporting fire. Let's go. Shift it right. Shift right. Our guys
So, I don't know how much supporting fire that's really going to do. CSA's not going to... They're going to stay there regardless. I mean, tickets are still close, which is good for the attackers. Even though I'm kind of dogging on them, they're not in a terrible spot.
That Welsh bastard again.
Shut up, you fucking
So-
pikey!
Oh, okay.
Union's slowly going to get whittled down, assuming those flag respawns don't move down.
Hey, gentlemen, spread it out more. Y'all got plenty of room. Y'all can move close to the step.
So, it's probably going to be 32 minutes before we see
Oh, God.
either side,
Well, that
more
fence is
particularly
gone.
CSA, go to engaged. Union's probably going to drop within the next minute. CSA in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Cover from.
Keep firing, boys. You're doing the Lord's work. Our job is to distract them. Step out the open and shoot us, so the rest of the team behind us can fire on them from the high ground. Keep doing the Lord's
So
work,
it
boys.
really seems that Union's strategy is to have a shootout with the CSA, which it's good and bad. You can argue both ways. I don't prefer it, but in the end, a win is a win, and if you get that, that's all that matters. I mean, their server pop, it's still at 207 exact, to be frank. I mean, Union's outnumbered by 10 guys right now, infantry-wise.
Alright, pull it up the hill. Pull it back up the hill.
And if the Union is not going to charge, as CSA,
From up on the
you
line
need to
back
find
here,
a sweet
from up on the
spot
line back here.
where you can pull back as far as you can to avoid ticket loss while still engaging the Union to make sure Union doesn't want to charge, which is what CSA is trying to figure out right now. CSA did hit engaged first. Surprisingly, it really looked like Union was going to drop first, but I guess that isn't the case. And Union respawns.
How's it going, Michigan? How's it going? Hold steady. Grip fire. Put
Do you want the
fire
rest
out.
of the boys to join us?
No, we got covering
Are
fire
they
from
up
up the
there?
hill. We're holding position.
Yeah,
as mates. We
those
got
are all
some
the new
angles of fire.
spawns.
Oh, stay there, stay there.
Stay there? Alright.
We got
From the
plenty of
beginning,
people
rally.
here.
We will hold this
All right.
until the sun sets. Our victory is won. Keep firing,
Who
boys.
won?
Don't start failing now.
So it's what, 13-minute pace so far, and obviously at the start of the round you're moving a little slower. So it looks like Union's knocking CSA down every 10-11 minutes, which isn't a bad pace. Assuming it's 10 minutes. Honestly, I mean, if we assume it's 10 minutes, right? Taking losses at 21, breaking at 11. So in that aspect, Union's got plenty of time to keep this shootout going. And when CSA does drop to breaking, they'll be forced to stay near point, which is located in this center road. It's a little out from where CSA normally defends. And Union's almost playing this like they did back in 2020, 2021. Actually, it's more like 2020, because I joined middle of 2020. And Union's strategy on this map was to sit here on the stone wall for the whole 45 minutes and volley away the whole match. Sit and shoot, avoid the casualties.
Or you can take off your bayonet since we're not going to charge it. When we do charge it,
So
put your bayonet on.
this kind of a callback to that, because when this map, as I mentioned, they had the shootout from the stone wall for the whole match, and then the meta was evolved to charge down and just charge right up this right side. Now remember, at this time, server pop only got up to 150, 200 guys, so there's about a 75, 100 guys per team, which is a lot different than what we see today, although we're kind of at that server pop right now. But what eventually, the meta, you charged up on the right side, that eventually turns to Union just charging into this house and just holding in there the whole time. It's hard when you have a whole team in here with flags spawning in guys, and there's only 3 ways to get in the house. You have the 2 doors that are located here, and then you got the 3rd entryway toward the basement, which is here. So you got 3 ways to enter. Only 1 man can fit through those. This game does not let 2 people go through a door at the same time. And so Union would hold in there, and CSA could not throw them out, and it was a slow dwindle in tickets until Union eventually won. Developers then made the change to make it so that if you were a flag bearer and you went inside a building, you would have to leave within, I think it's 30 seconds or 60, I don't remember, probably 30. But if you didn't leave, then you would die. And then it eventually turned kind of back to what it was originally, charging up this right side. That kind of stopped working. CSA is, over the past year or so, has been getting a lot better at Otto and Sherrick. They have been putting more pressure on Union, having a lot better shots. Artillery is doing better. And that resulted in Union kind of going on this left side, which we've seen in some private events, and works to varying degrees, obviously depending on how well the Union officers work together. But looks like we're kind of, again, going back to the olden days. Like that story I just kind of described, it's just... This map has had a long history of meta changes, and it's probably the one I remember the most. So... It's been 4 minutes, and CSA is down over half of their morale stage. Only by a little, but they're over half of their morale stage. And it really makes you wonder, why is CSA dropping so much so fast? I mean, remember, it was about a 10-11 minute pace initially, and now it's down to 8 minutes for a whole morale stage loss. So... somewhere that shot killed one, but it exploded all the way over there. And I mean, if you're Union, you keep doing this. It's surprised it's working. I mean, we'll see how this changed with CSA falling so far back. I mean, it might be that Union splitting up their forces is doing this. I mean, you have skirmishers over here as well. It looks like the... Is this the infantry or artillery? He has a flag over here. That's kind of great, I'm not going to lie.
Do you have any visual?
I mean, how many guys does Ferguson have in his group? It's 14. So they'll slowly start spawning in over here. And they can really harass CSA from the flank if they get... Why is there a chicken coop there? So, I mean, Union's gone up. They're up by a good margin in tickets right now. You could argue a half a morale stage, which is very good for Otto and Sherrick. You do not see this anymore. So, looks like you got more Union starting to pour down to the bottom of the hill. Looks like most of the Union team, about half of them, have garnered support on the bottom of the hill. You got CSA on the barn. They are starting to shift down. The Union on the left is starting to push down the house. So it seems CSA doesn't want to turtle. It's really hard to turtle in pub matches. People come on the game to play fun. And sitting in your spawn, not doing anything, is boring. So you got CSA. They're starting to push up. Looks like they're trying to get... Oh, what are they doing? Are they charging? CSC now down to taking losses. Yeah, it's a half morale stage difference. They're charging? Why are you charging and not going through the open fence? Why? Oh my goodness, CSA's, they're down for. Well, half the CSC team is charging down here, which it's very risky. I mean, CSA was kind of in a crappy spot regardless.
Push these hicks back. Charge, Union, charge. Into them, force them back. Don't let them take
CSA doing pretty well, though. It was very risky. You got more Union reinforcements starting to pull down from the top of that hill. I don't know how that Union company is doing on the other side. We can check back in after this charge finishes. Union is starting to regain a little ground here, and they're starting to push out. And look at CSA's taking a hit on tickets.
Keep it going. Grab them flags. Bring those flags down.
And it looks like Union got wiped on that side. Their flag is down, but Union is able to get CSA flag on the contrary. So a flag trade, and CSA is down halfway through taking losses right now. That is huge.
I wouldn't bring these flags. I would not bring these flags. Turn around, boys. Turn around.
Get flag.
So you got one CSA flag. He's running about, but Union's pushed up. They've taken this ground as they should. I don't think I've ever seen CSA charge out like that before on this map. Out of all the meta shifts I've talked about, that is something I've never seen before. And Union might just continue charging through, which they should, because they will outnumber CSA.
Let them come
to you.
What the fuck did I just spawn into?
Stand back off the fence a little bit there, boys. They can't do anything if you're standing off the fence line.
Dumbass.
Union down to taking losses, but CSA is going to hit breaking. Their main spawn's pretty close. And so they're trying to rush back in as quickly as they can, but CSA is going to drop to breaking. Union can just cap point and win this game.
Gentlemen, into the fucking courtyard. Get up and over. Let's go. Up and
Union
over.
trying to finishing. You have that one company that got wiped. Actually, that's an arty gun. What the heck? A couple CSA guys on top with a little barn here. CSA very spread out, discombobulated. Union is capping, whether intentional or not. That's what they're doing. And CSA are breaking.
Oh, you fucking cunt! Come over this fence and say that, bitch! Fall back! Push forward! Push forward! Push forward!
Union can cap point and win, but they're still trying to push through CSA here. I mean, Union's probably won this game already, but you don't want to give CSA an opportunity to reform and win. I mean, you got one man trying to cap point, but you need to be in at least skirmishing. Why is no one from Union trying to cap this point?
Literally, I don't know.
No, not our fucking captain.
He ran through the captain.
And CSA, not organized, they're trying to retake this.
Gentlemen, do your job that you're paid for, boys. The job you're paid for, boys. Keep that flag up. Keep that flag up. He'll have to
Keep firing. Hold the line.
I mean, CSA's trickling in now. It looks like they didn't really organize that well.
watch out. Get him, Tyson. Get him, Tyson.
Form a line. Form a line. Form a line with me. Form a line on my shoulder. Form a line on my shoulder. With me.
That cap is going up and down. Does Union not realize they can win?
I'll follow the flag.
Nobody here.
Get your bayonets, boys.
Bayonets, come
Bayonets
on.
on.
Six bayonets.
Maybe they're going to point, or maybe they're going to go up here and reinforce, but
Ow, my ass!
Union could have won at any point, but now CSA is starting to win the ground back. This is...
Okay. There's a lot of rebels coming. There's a lot of them coming. Everybody get ready to fire.
Is CSA going to be able to get over here in time? That's the question. This is...
All those flags are. That's all rebels.
This is frustrating to watch, but it looks like Union's going to win. CSA, they're just sitting and shooting. They're like, you're going to have the point. It's funny. It's like CSA lost the game, and they're like, no, Union, you can have the point. And now Union's like, no, CSA, you can have the point. And now CSA's like, no, Union, you can have the point. It's like everyone, they're playing volleyball back and forth. A couple CSA are trying to charge, but Union respawns are starting to get on the point, and that should do it for this round of Otto and Sherrick.
Good. Eat land! That officer. Really am.
So, I mean, Union did pretty good. They stayed organized. I think CSA already not having a huge impact on this round allowed Union to kind of sit in that death blade. CSA was kind of winning on that shootout, but then Union, with half their team pulled back to that stone wall and was taking shots at CSA, and that seemed to be working well. And then out of the blue, CSA decided to charge Union. For what reason, I don't know. I mean, you got to have a... Here's the thing, CSA was down half a morale stage, so you got to find some way to catch up on tickets, and I think you got to force Union to cap. I do not think you should be charging down like that, especially, they didn't do it with their whole team either, but that kind of did it, and Union almost just let the CSA keep the fight going. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, we have our Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. Besides that, though, we have our Discord and merch, and we have a Instagram and X account that will also be in the description if you want to get notified about our broadcasts in other ways. But we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.